thank you for joining me here on Rastas Reality. Do not forget to subscribe and like the video as it gives you value. Just because one can hurt another doesn't constitute that one should. Just because one can neglect another doesn't mean that one should. Just because one can bully another doesn't excuse them from the responsibility of the repercussions. Just because one can steal doesn't grant one permission to do so. Just because one can irresponsibly knock up females doesn't signal that the female is solely responsible for the kid and or children. Just because one pays child support doesn't excuse financial irresponsibility. In addition to just because the support reaches the mom doesn't constitute that the funds are for the female too. Otherwise, it would be spousal support. Just because they say it's free doesn't mean that there's no cost. Further, just because you sue the city, state, and or federal doesn't mean that the suit will be paid by those entities. The funds primarily come from the very same people who start the suit, as well as the rest of the taxpayers. Just because one is doing better in life doesn't excuse the hatred for doing so, as it's termed personal growth for a reason. Just because one expresses disdain for the extra unnecessary weight gain that one may pick up doesn't constitute that they dislike and or is not concerned about you. Just because one has pets doesn't excuse filthiness. Just because we may be cool doesn't excuse reptile behavior, aka snakes in the grass. Just because I may disagree with another or a group doesn't mean that I hate or dislike them. Just because one may be a relative doesn't mean that they are family. Just because it's your turn to go through some life's challenges doesn't mean that it's all bad. Just because one pushed a child out of their bodies doesn't mean that they're a mother. The same goes for males who seeded an egg regarding a father. As a man, just because I'm cordial and chivalrous doesn't mean that I seek a bunch of ladies' attention. There are so many more in the just because category, but I shall leave it here as I believe the point of the video has spoken to many people's stories. The narrative is yours to tell, and when doing so, do it well. And that's the reality.
Look, check it. Silly dummy, go get you some money. You gon' hate it being broke, ain't got no food on your tummy. You gon' hate us swapping clothes, avoiding trying to be bummy. The girls gon' laugh cause it's funny, but don't you trip, that's just the way it go. See, in my city, gotta play the role. And if